Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Jurassic News. We've got quite a lot of topics to cover in this episode, as well as the reason why we're doing it like this instead of me in front of you behind a desk. But before I start talking about the explanation behind that, I think we should just jump straight into it. A couple days ago, Bodin Sturber, a 3D artist, uploaded these pictures to his blog. And they are, of course, of the Stegoceratops, a Nazuto Stegosaur hybrid, not a Triceratops as it is in the game, which is a bit weird. I mean, even if we look at the horns, you can quite clearly tell it's Nazutoceratops, but we'll ignore that for now. And these images show what Nazutoceratops would have looked like in the movie. Yeah, you heard me right. This was actually designed to be in the movie. Which I've already said twice, but it was in the movie. So before we get any deeper, I just want to say a big thank you to Jurassic Outpost for posting all. Forget it for posting. So this raises a question. Why, if it was almost like completely made and 3D rendered and everything, why was it cut from the movie? As far as my opinions go on this sort of topic, I don't think we can include too many dinosaurs in each said Jurassic Park movie. If you think about it, there was Suchomimus, Baryonyx, Metracanthosaurus, and a ton of other dinosaurs that didn't even appear in the movie, but were present on Isla Nublar at the time. And of course, it's always everybody's dream to have their favorite dinosaur to appear in a Jurassic Park movie. But if that was the case, we'd end up with more comic reliefosauruses, as seen in Jurassic Park 3 with Ceratosaur, who basically shows up just to be a butt of a joke. They smell like poo. Look out! Which made the fans of Ceratosaurus go, hey, look, it's Ceratosaurus, and made the rest of the people watching the movie sigh. As to shake their head in disbelief and wonder, why was that even included in the movie at all? I mean, as opposed to a callback to Ian Malcolm's famous quote. But we actually have a solid reason as to why Stegoceratops was cut from the film. Not just because there would have been way too many dinosaurs and screen time to each one would have been incredibly limited, but Colin Trevorrow spoke to Empire magazine giving this quote. In an earlier draft of the script, there was a scene where Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard, Claire and Owen, come across another hybrid in the jungle and inform them that Dr. Wu has been making other hybrids under her nose. And for some odd reason, I seem to remember reading somewhere that Chris was supposed to get close to it, like a juvenile, and then like the adult comes to protect it, which seems way too familiar to that Stegosaurus scene in The Lost World. But I digress. Anyway, on with the quote. Then my 6-year-old son watched Return of the Jedi and said to me, that if Leia is also a Jedi, that means that Luke isn't unique. It was like, okay. And for some reason, I applied that to this other thing and felt like there could only be one hybrid dinosaur. The idea that there was more than one made it feel less like one synthetic among all other organics. And suddenly it seemed entirely wrong to have it in the movie. I suddenly hated the idea. But the toy still exists, as it's kind of a remnant because Hasbro toys are locked a year out, which explains why we even have a toy of it. But given that fact, maybe some of the other hybrid dinosaur toys were supposed to be in the movie too. The only reason why Stegoceratops is so unique in this situation is that it kind of featured in the movie, playing on one of the computer monitors in Dr. Wu's lab. So in all, it does kind of suck that a dinosaur, especially one that looks so awesome like this, was cut from the movie. But for the sake of that same movie, maybe it was for the best. Especially if it was going to be thrown in as a sort of throwback to the Lost World and the Stegosaurus scene. It's a John Tron joke about it not running away. But while I've been away, there has been actually quite a lot of development as far as Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom goes. There's been the release of concept for the merchandise. Mainly just food products at the moment, like marshmallows, chocolate chip, chewy bits, and cereal, and chicken nuggets. But there are 3 dinosaurs that feature incredibly heavily in this promotion. Now that is Blue, the T-Rex, and the Triceratops. If there is going to be some sort of hybrid coming in the next Jurassic World movie, they are keeping it secret. Although a patent not too long ago was passed called the Indoraptor, which might be what those embryos were in Jurassic World. When Dr. Wu's lab was completely relocated, we saw some people putting something in a cryo case, and that could be the next Indoraptors. But back onto the toys and sweets and that. At a toy fair, Jurassic World also showcased Pez dispensers, and again, we're seeing the same sort of dinosaurs come up, but this time, we've got the Mosasaur. That's the Triceratops, Blue, Rexy, and the Mosasaur. And supposedly, you can take the tops off these Pez dispensers and use them in a new board game. This new board game made by Mattel is being called Evacuate the Island. Now, we've had board games in the past, with Jurassic Park, The Lost World, and even Jurassic Park 3. So it's nice to see the return of these. But it also hints towards that volcano plot we came across in the last Jurassic News segment. But that volcano is kind of common knowledge at this point. Not only were its ashes featured in the Jurassic Fallen Kingdom big reveal poster, but also in the merchandise of chicken nuggets, you can see that there is a volcano behind that. And if you needed any further evidence, Frank Marshall tweeted this out. Pretty wild, we just wrapped a movie and a musical, both with volcanoes in them, both on the same weekend. At Jurassic World, at Buffett Miracle. Buffett Musical. Buffett Miracle. And in other news, concept artist Ian Joyner uploaded these images of what seemed to be an early creation of INDOMINUS Rex. And it looks pretty cool. The head is almost the skull of the T-Rex, the very iconic Jurassic Park symbol. And you can sort of see little bits of the final INDOMINUS Rex that they ended up using in this. It's almost like we're seeing a very early genus of INDOMINUS Rex. You've got the quills that ended up featuring on the back of the INDOMINUS Rex's arm, the long finger claws, and also just the general shape. And we also had 3 new images of concept art coming out for the new game Jurassic World Evolution. Unfortunately, these images really didn't shed any light on gameplay or anything else, to be honest. They just look really cool. You have the T-Rex in the jungle, the T-Rex roaring, and of course that lovely wide shot of the entire park. I wish I could say more about it. It's just that kind of concept art, and that's how the trailer ended up taking form. So that about wraps up all the little news bits that I sort of wanted to cover. What did you guys think of the initial INDOMINUS Rex design? You think it's better than the one that made it into the movie? And are you just gutted that we didn't get to see that really cool Stegoceratops on the big screen? Leave it in the comments below. I love reading them. And now on to the reason why we're doing this instead of that big production I had before. Basically, it's really simple. I'm just one guy, and doing one of those took ages to do. I would quite literally stay up all day and all night to finish it and get it up as soon as possible. And when news drops, and I need some way to get that news out and onto YouTube and to you guys as quick as possible. And this sort of format is a lot quicker. And I kind of did this sort of thing anyway for when Jurassic World came out. But again, back then I was recording in my bedroom, so I didn't really have the facilities. If you enjoyed this sort of content, leave a like. And until next time, I'll see you later. Bye-bye.